So let us have a look at the first important jargon word that we're going to be using in statistics, and this word is the word population. Now, if I ask you what a population is, I'm sure that you'll be able to describe it fairly easily and fairly effectively. For instance, you might say that the population is a set of people who have something in common. For instance, the population of Red Deer is all the people who live in Red Deer. The population of Canadian people of Italian origin, or all those people who came from Italy or whose parents came from Italy or grandparents. So it's just a set of people who have something in common. Now, this same meaning can be used in statistics, but in statistics we use the word population a little bit more widely. In statistics, any set about which we want to know something is called a population. So it doesn't have necessarily to consist of people, can consist of something different. It could consist of, let's see what it can consist of. Well, first of all, let's do some basic examples. We'll do some more in class. Well, first of all, obviously a usual population can itself be a statistical population. The only difference is that if we're dealing with a group of people in a statistical context with a statistical purpose, then we need to be very specific in how we describe it. So we can't simply say the people of Red Deer. We need to specify a little bit more. Well, the people who live in Red Deer, when, what part of Red Deer, permanent residents or non-permanent residents, having been here for some time, long or short or whatever. So there's all kinds of issues that need to be addressed. The more, the better. Of course, you don't want to overdo it. But again, the general idea that in statistical population we want to be as specific as possible if we're dealing with people, or in fact anything else. But the specificity is very important. But it doesn't have to be just a people. It could be pairs of people. So for instance, we could be analyzing sets of twins, in which case the population is not the individual people who are part of the group that we're analyzing, but is actually made up of the pair of twins. So the two Sandin brothers of the Vancouver Canucks wouldn't be considered as two separate people, but as just one element of the population. And then we would be looking at another pair of twins as another element of the population, and so on and so on. But a population can be even wider than that. For instance, a population could consist of a set of objects, and a typical example could be medication, right? Pills or compresses or something like this. So we may be doing a study on certain kinds of pills, and so the population of interest would be all the pills of a certain kind. Again, we want to be very specific in how we describe them, but the idea is still the same. And finally, we could even have as a population a set of events. For instance, a population could be the set of all the speeches made by Mr. Obama, or it could be the set of events that have some clinical significance in the history of a patient, or anything like that. So it doesn't have to be people or even objects. It could be just events or something else in the course of the course. I like that. We may see some other examples where the population consists of something that I haven't discussed here yet. Now, a related concept that we use in statistics quite a bit is that of a sample. So what is a sample? Well, in general English, could be something that we try. We've always had our samples when we go to Costco or to a grocery store and so on. Yes, that is a good idea of a sample, but not what we mean in statistics, although it is somewhat related. Is it something that we test? Well, certainly in the clinical context, there are all kinds of samples that are taken from a patient and tested. Again, it is related to the use we're going to make of the word in statistics, but not quite. So in statistics, what we mean by a sample is simply any subset of the population. Okay? So any smaller part of the population that we're going to consider, look at, and so on, that's what is going to be considered as a sample. For instance, if this is the population we're dealing with, okay, so it's a population of flags. Okay, so this might be a sample from that population. You might think, oh, but they're all in a row. It doesn't matter. It is a sample. Okay. Let me stop here and give you a few more examples of samples. Samples of samples in a few seconds in the next little video.